In this section, we'll be reviewing some of the COVID-19 protocols and how that might impact your event planning this year. First, we want to express that we're very excited to have you back on campus, and while we are back, there are several changes across campus to ensure community health and safety. So we're going to be reviewing some of the new protocols that will impact your event planning this year, but you can also review the entire student organization COVID-19 protocol in the Student Org Handbook. So first, let's talk about some event types. First, we have in-person. So this is the typical event that you think of, but the number of students in attendance will be restricted to the max gathering size allowed under county and university orders. And then we have virtual. This type of event is probably what you would have utilized during remote learning in spring 2020. This event will be fully virtual and hosted on online platforms such as Zoom, YouTube, etc. And then we have a hybrid. So this type of event will be both in-person and virtual. So some examples of what this may look like is a grab-and-go style event where attendees pick up crafting supplies in person outside of the UC, and then they work on the crafts in their individual rooms while Zooming with other attendees. That could also look like watching a lecture or movie virtually and then meeting in small in-person discussion groups. Or it could be live streaming an open mic performance lecture where the performers are in person but the attendees are virtual. So next, let's talk about some of the safety guidelines. In general, we encourage hybrid, virtual, or outdoor events whenever possible. Keep in mind that in-person and hybrid gathering sizes does include students who are hosting the event, and off-campus events may be approved pending adherence to the San Diego County and University of San Diego health regulations. So next, let's review some details about planning. First, you want to keep in mind that you're planning early. In-person and hybrid events may require meetings with the building scheduler to determine safety practices. And remember that space on campus will be limited. Many meeting rooms are being converted to classrooms, and all rooms will have a reduced capacity. You also want to be sure that you're utilizing RSVPs via Salesforce, Google Calendar, or Google Forms to ensure limited attendance. And with virtual events, you will be required to have them registered through the EMS system. Then we have student organizations. They'll be required to have multiple members as trained event managers in order to have in-person and hybrid events. So next, let's talk about during the event. Face coverings and physical distancing will be required following USD's on-campus protocol. Your organization will be responsible to monitor and ensure participants are in compliance with prevention strategies. Your organization's event managers must be in attendance for the duration of all in-person and hybrid events. Setup, entry, and exit must follow space guidelines provided by the building scheduler, and marking indicators will be required for events that necessitate a line. Remember that distribution of food items must follow USD's COVID-19 policies. And lastly, attendance should be recorded and retained by student organizations for all in-person meetings. So thank you for listening. Again, you can also review the entire student organization COVID-19 protocol in the Student Org Handbook. And if you have any questions, please be sure to email us at usdinvolvement@gmail.com.